the web app. If you look at the front of the PocketLab, our logo is giving you the orientation of the PocketLab sensors inside the device. So it's a little hard to see, but going up and down is the y-axis. And so as I move the PocketLab up and down, you'll see the y-axis, which is in blue. That's moving accordingly. The x-axis goes this way. So you'll see that in red. This is the z-axis here. So you'll see that moving back and forth. Okay. Some of you asked, how do you kind of reduce the amount of data that you're maybe seeing in the app? And you can do that over here on the right-hand side. You can toggle on and off. Let's say you're doing an experiment where you just want to look at the x-axis. You can turn off the y and the z-axis just by clicking those toggle buttons. And now you're just viewing the x-axis graph. You can turn those back on there. Up in the upper, and now I'm just going to quickly, now that we're connected, I'm going to show you just some basic navigation of the app before we get into data recording. So in the upper left-hand corner is the switch graphs icon. When you click that, you can pull up all the different graphs that you can switch to that your PocketLab can connect with, or excuse me, that your PocketLab can record. So I'm going to go down here to, let's say, angular velocity. So I want to unclick acceleration and click on angular velocity. And now I'm measuring my rotation, and I'm in a little office chair, so I'll do a little spin. And you can see that data stream. And so if I'm doing some motion experiment like this, I may want to turn the data rate up to a higher data rate. And so over here on the right-hand side, you'll see this slider, and I can turn that up to 50 samples per second. So that's maybe better for a motion experiment. If you're doing some type of weather experiment, you may not want that many samples every second, so you can turn the data rate back all the way back down to 1 sample per second. Okay, next to the data rate changer there is what looks like a ruler, and if you click that, you can change the units that the PocketLab is measuring for all the different graphs. So you can change temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit. You can change angular velocity from degrees per second to RPM. So you can do that right there in that change units button there. To the right of that is this audio feedback button. I'm not going to click on it right now because we'll get some feedback with the recording and everything. But if you click on that, you will get an audio tone that is reflecting the graph that you're seeing. So it's like a really interesting way to engage with the data. So if you click on it, as the graph goes up, you get a higher pitched tone, audio tone. As the graph goes down, you get a lower pitched tone. And so it can be a really fun way to engage students in different types of experiments. So I recommend turning that on and playing around with different graphs to kind of see what's fun and interesting with that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and switch to another. I'm going to switch to the humidity graph to show you one more thing. So here I'm displaying a line graph of humidity. When I breathe on it, I'm getting this display of humidity over time. If I click up here next to line graph, I can click on a bar graph here. And so I'm just getting another display of the data in a different way. I can click on digits and view that data as just single digits. And then if you allow your location data, you can view the data that you're looking at on a map. And then there's another what's called the weather view. So if you go back to the select graph button, you can click on this weather view. And if you click on that, you should get 4 displays of data. for humidity, light intensity, barometric pressure, and temperature. And then if you've allowed your location data, the app is pulling in publicly available data from Weather Underground and putting it on this map down here so that you can compare some of the data that you're collecting with data in your kind of a larger geographic region that you're in. Okay, so all of that, we haven't done any recording of the data yet, so I'm gonna show you how to do that here in a second. In the upper left corner first is this settings gear. If you click on that, you're going to get a little menu where you can go to PocketLab, go to our PocketLab educator site to find activities, go to our website, get technical support, rename your PocketLab device, which we'll talk about. You also get a display of how much battery is left in your PocketLab.